Look, I'm not really sure what I expected going into Backrooms, but it wasn't this. This is a regular guy's review of. Hey, so my name is Logan, and I'm just a regular guy. My favorite movies are Avengers Infinity War and Toy Story 3, not Pulp Fiction and Parasite. I'm just a regular guy, not a film bro, not a snob, just like to talk about movies. And going into Backrooms, just here are kind of my biases and headspace going into the movie. So I am not familiar with the Backrooms concept on YouTube and all the lore there. Like, I was never into it. I didn't really know anything about it. I never heard of it until my GOAT 3C Films.
Have you seen Better Men? Honey, I've seen excellent men.
Vengeance is here.
A ladder for thugs. Okay, point a gun at you.
Started talking about it and the news and how it was announced, and he kind of gave updates on it throughout his channel, and so I followed him, so I followed this, and I was mildly intrigued. Like, I think it's a cool story of Kane Parsons, the young filmmaker who has never made movies but just made these shorts on YouTube and got this amazing opportunity to direct. Like, that's a cool story. I'm also a big fan of A24. I love how they offer such unique storytelling in a world of reboots and remakes. Like, I'm just a really big fan of that. So going into the Backrooms, I was really excited. And then once buzz started to pick up even more for this movie, it started to get me more excited. So I had a positive outlook going into Backrooms. So for my actual review of it, pros, I think that this movie looks amazing. Okay, it looks absolutely phenomenal. I love how Kane Parsons works in the found footage element into the movie to kind of like pay homage to the original found footage style of the YouTube shorts, like working it in with like the regular style of directing for a film worked really well and added a lot to it. The set design looks absolutely amazing. Like, oh my gosh, like the fact that this was all practical and all just built out just blows my mind, because each room, each layer, each floor of the Backrooms in this movie is completely unique, is completely brand new. Nothing feels repeated, nothing feels recycled. You're on the edge of your seat each time, just taking it all in. And that is honestly the best part of this movie, is how well it looks and the set is designed. Like, it is absolutely phenomenal. Something else I really liked is this didn't feel like a cheap traditional horror movie. Like, it's not going for jump scares and stuff like that. Like, a lot of the horror elements in this movie come from the uneasiness and the unknown, and they really play into that. There's a lot of mystery and intrigue going into this movie that I really enjoyed, and like, you're on the edge of your seat trying to figure out what's going on. You're piecing this bit of information with this bit of information, and the movie doesn't spoon feed you what's happening. Like, you're really connecting dots. This is not a passive movie that you throw on and you're on your phone, right? Like, you're engaged the whole time, and I really enjoyed that. I think that that makes the movie much more engaging and almost interactive in a sense. And for the negatives, I only have two, and the first one is it feels like there's like this unresolved element for the characters. I don't really know how to explain it. Like, there's two main characters here in this movie, and by the end of it, their resolutions and how the characters like get wrapped up feels either rushed or non-existent, and it makes you look back at the movie as a whole and being like, what was the point of that? Like, it just didn't seem to flow or make sense or connect by the end of the movie. It felt like, yes, I care about these characters, but then it leads to nothing. And I'm not saying that every movie has to have like these beautiful character arcs and journeys and wrap-ups and resolutions. Like, I just reviewed Mandalorian Grogu. I don't think that Mando grows as a character whatsoever, but I don't need him to. Like, it's not that kind of movie. The question comes down to, what is this movie setting out to do? And Backrooms is clearly setting out to be a little bit more of a thinker, a little bit more on the like artsy side, and really trying to put their best foot forward when it comes to these character journeys, and it just didn't land for me. It gets me there, and then it kind of, I'm stuck. And then my second con isn't really a con for the movie itself, I guess, but just when I look back, like a big aspect of this movie is the mystery and the unknown and the intrigue. And there's a lot of cool stuff that I feel like really works well. And like I said, like you're piecing it together, and I'm sure on a rewatch, like there's things that you missed and that you're going to piece together more. But with how things landed, and it did have kind of like a vague ending, a non-resolute ending, which I didn't mind. I actually think it worked for what it's going for, but kind of where they chose to land the plane, and what they did with some of the mysteries and the intrigue, the movie just doesn't feel like it has that much rewatch value to me. I think it's a great first time in the theater experience, but I don't really see myself checking this out again. Like, I felt like I got what I needed out of it, and it just doesn't have that replay value for me. And to me, that's really what separates a movie. Like, does this movie make me want to go see it again? Can I watch this movie again in a somewhat small time gap and still really enjoy it? And it's just missing that element. So, my rating, I think you should go see this in theaters if you're a fan of A24 movies. If you're just a fan of that studio, this is same level of quality. It's great. You're going to enjoy this a lot. If you are a fan of the Backrooms from YouTube and stuff like that, this really expands the lore and does something new in this new medium of theatrically released film for this kind of world. And so I think you'd really enjoy checking it out in theaters. And if you're really kind of a fan of the future of movies, I think we're seeing this with Backrooms, Obsession, Talk to Me, things like that. Like, the future of Hollywood is these Gen Z directors pulled from the internet. And if you want to be a part of that history and witness it firsthand, I highly recommend seeing this in theaters. But I'd wait for it to come to streaming if you're someone that loves to watch horror movies at home, like likes to put the lights down, cuddle up with a blanket, have some of your significant other, your best friend, have some people over, and like to be scared together and be able to talk back to the screen like, oh no, don't do that, that's crazy. Like, I don't think that this is a traditional horror movie, and so you're probably not going to want, if you're that kind of person, you're not going to want to waste your money and go see it in theaters, but it would definitely be a fun watch with friends on streaming. Or if you're kind of intrigued by the movie and you're cautiously optimistic, but you don't really like weirdness in your horror movies, like it is pretty odd, I'd wait for it to come onto streaming, right? Like, see for yourself, like, if you're intrigued, like, maybe you will like it, maybe you won't, but it is pretty weird. And so if you don't like that, maybe just wait for it to come on streaming to see if your intrigue is valid. And then I would say, don't watch this movie if you don't like weird movies. If you like a pretty straightforward, traditional type movie, this one is very odd and out there in kind of how things work. So I wouldn't recommend it for you. And if you don't like vague endings, like you like a movie to land, you like a movie to conclude, this is how things go. I know everything that happened, like, this movie is not that. It ends in a vague way, and it really leaves a lot to the watcher's interpretation. And so if you don't like that, don't watch this movie. You're not going to enjoy it. So that's just a regular guy's review of Backrooms. Let me know in the comments, what did you think? Did you enjoy this? Did you not enjoy it? I would really like to know. And also, if you have any prayer requests, please let me know in the comments. I would love to pray for you. Deuskis, homies. So,